All right, today we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the most fundamental building blocks of the modern internet, Amazon S3. You might not even know it's there, but it's the invisible infrastructure that holds our whole digital world together. Let's dig in and see how it actually works.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? Every photo you share, every document you save to the cloud, every website you visit. Where does all that stuff physically live? Well, you might be surprised to learn that a huge amount of it lives inside the very service we're breaking down right now.
So here's our game plan. We'll start with a really simple analogy. Then we'll break down its core parts. After that, we'll explore its incredible features, see how it plays with other services, and finally, really understand why it's so critical to the entire cloud.
Okay, to really wrap our heads around what S3 is all about, let's just push aside all the complex technology for a minute and think of it as something much, much simpler. A storage closet that never runs out of space.
Because at its core, that's really all S3, which stands for Simple Storage Service, is. It's a place to put literally anything you can think of. A single photo, or petabytes of data. We're talking enough to store thousands of high-definition movies. And the best part? You never have to worry about hard drives or servers or running out of room. It just works.
So if you've got this infinite closet, how in the world do you keep potentially billions of items organized? Well, it all comes down to three very simple but incredibly powerful concepts.
The very first thing you do is create a bucket. You can just think of this as your own personal named closet in a massive Amazon warehouse. And that name you pick has to be unique across the entire world, just like a website address. No two can be the same.
Next up is the object. This is simply the item you're actually putting in your closet. An image, a video, a backup file, you name it. And an object isn't just the file, it also carries metadata with it, which is kind of like a label on the box, telling you what's inside, who made it, and when.
And finally, how do you find your one specific item among maybe trillions of others? With a key. The key is the unique identifier for your object inside its bucket. Think of it as the perfect claim ticket that tells S3 exactly which item you're looking for.
And that's the whole workflow right there. You create a container, your bucket, you upload your data, the object, and then you use its unique key to get it back whenever you want. Simple, powerful, and unbelievably scalable.
But S3 is so much more than just a simple storage locker. This is where we get into its truly mind-blowing superpowers.
Just take a look at this number for a second. That's 11 nines. Now, that's not about how often the service is online. That's a measure of how likely it is to ever lose your data. This is its first superpower, durability.
So what does 11 nines durability actually mean? It means S3 is engineered to almost never, ever lose a file. To put it in perspective, if you stored 10,000 objects in S3, you could expect to lose just one of them, on average, once every 10 million years. It's just wild. It pulls this off by automatically making and storing copies of your data in multiple separate locations.
The second superpower is its sheer scale. You never have to ask for a bigger hard drive. You just add data and S3 expands automatically, whether you have one file or 1 trillion. That's the real magic of serverless. You don't have to manage any infrastructure at all. It just works.
And this chart really spells out the key difference. A traditional file system, like the one on your laptop, is built on folders within folders. That's hierarchical, and it's limited by your disk size. S3, on the other hand, is a flat world. You just have objects sitting in buckets. It's managed for you, and its scale is practically infinite. That flat structure is the secret sauce that lets it grow in a way a folder-based system never could.
But honestly, S3's greatest superpower might not be what it does on its own, but how it works with practically every other service in the cloud ecosystem. It really is the ultimate team player.
Yeah, S3 isn't an island. It's the central data hub. You can hook it up to a service like CloudFront to deliver your files instantly all across the globe. You can use a service called Lambda to automatically run code the very moment a new file gets uploaded. You can even run complex data analysis directly on your files with Athena. It's the starting point for countless powerful workflows.
So how does it do all this? Well, it's designed from the ground up to be controlled by code. It uses things called APIs. Think of them as a special language that lets different software programs talk to each other. This means developers can build entire applications that use S3 as their storage backbone, creating a platform that's totally programmable and automated.
So let's bring this all home. When you combine that extreme durability, the infinite scale, and the deep integration with everything else, you start to see why S3 isn't just a service, it is the foundational service.
Because of this unique combination of features, S3 has become the go-to platform for some of the most critical jobs in tech. It's the heart of massive data lakes for analytics, it's the secure vault for backups and disaster recovery, and it's the reliable host for websites and all sorts of application assets.
You know, this quote really just says it all. S3 is the foundational storage service, a reliable, durable, and highly flexible platform. It truly is the bedrock for almost everything that people build in the cloud today. And that leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to think about. When your ability to store and access data is no longer a limitation, when it's essentially infinite and permanent, what new possibilities does that open up? What are we going to build next?